Hello, friends, and welcome to my kitchen. It is Wednesday at 11 a.m. I'm so glad you're here on Beneath the Surface News. I am Julie Brinkley. If you're just now seeing this for the very first time, then I feel like I should introduce myself. I am Julie Brinkley, or Motivation with Brink, on Facebook and Instagram. I'm so glad you're here. Again, it is a privilege to get to come to you every single week with healthy ideas, healthy recipes for you to add to your routines. 2 seconds. Hey Google, cancel. So sorry. I have to have a little music going when I get my cooking ready, and that doesn't always work. So, welcome though. Again, I preface every single week, I am a health coach for a really amazing plan. However, I am not a nutritionist or a chef, a personal chef. So this is my very own kitchen. I don't have a sous chef. So that's why hashtag be nice always appears. I make mistakes. I don't always know all the answers. But again, sharing my journey with you is one of the greatest things I've ever done. So I have been on this health journey for, gosh, how many years is it now? About 6 years. And it feels so good to finally get a really great understanding that this was much more than weight loss. When I attempted this in 2016 with a plan, I thought that's all it was about. Like, let's get to that goal weight, let's get to those size jeans that I wanted. And now, as I'm knocking on the door of 49, it is much more. And so that's what excites me so much to come to you every week, because these are recipes that anyone can put into your daily routines, whether or not you need to lose weight or not. This is just a great way to eat. And I kind of think it gives healthy eating a good name. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and then I'm going to do a little coach brag in between our recipes today. Now, one of these recipes is zucchini ravioli. Okay, you guys know, if you've watched me before, we use a lot of zucchini, we use a lot of spaghetti squash. I'm hoping that I bring you some new ideas to use these vegetables that you've used a lot of different ways. Okay, this one is one of my favorite because it seems super indulgent. And if you've ever struggled with eating healthy or desiring to lose weight, that indulgent food is something that we kind of fixate on. And so this is going to be your new indulgent food, okay? Healthy eating doesn't have to deprive you. And so that's what I love, love, love about this plan that I promote, because it is so broad. You really get to have so many amazing types of food. It just teaches you how to have that food for the rest of your life and keep it all in balanced. So, good morning to all of you. And when you are on here, please give me a shout out that you're here. It makes me feel not quite so alone, although I'm not alone today. I have someone special that I'm going to introduce to you in a few minutes. But as always, and if you've watched me before, you know that the food that I make is always going to be our lunch or our dinner here at my house. And so that goes back to my criteria for bringing you recipes. They've got to be quick and easy. They've got to be simple ingredients. When I say simple ingredients, is I don't like to spend a fortune at the store. And so it's limited ingredients, because when you're cooking lean and green, it's what it is. It's just that. Simple ingredients. I cook from a lot of herbs and things that I grow in my garden. So there's your other plug. Make sure you've planted your basil and your parsley, because those are two things that I use quite a bit out of the garden. And I save, I wouldn't say a fortune, but a few bucks, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. And what we're gonna do, once again, and I brought you some other recipes that are similar, but again, ricotta cheese. It's an amazing way to use a protein. So this is a great application for, let's say, Meatless Mondays. I know a really special friend of mine that loves Meatless Mondays. This is a great way to have a good protein balanced recipe, but without an animal protein, okay? I say animal protein. This is dairy, but a great source of protein. So we're using our ricotta cheese today. I did find, for you local people, I always tell you that I struggle to find the low-fat version. This one is a low-fat. You want to use a part skim or a low-fat version of ricotta. If you're not on a weight loss plan and you don't necessarily care about those extra fats, then whole milk ricotta wouldn't be the end of the world. I would venture to say the taste would be very similar though. So we're going to take a cup of ricotta cheese. And just when I thought I had everything, I'm going to use this spoon. We're going to take a cup of ricotta cheese. And we're going to, this time, and you'll see on the recipe, it tells you, you can add an optional amount of spinach. This is about 1/4 cup of spinach. I'm just going to give it a rough chop. Now, I love spinach, and so I'm going to really love having this spinach in the ricotta for a little extra, I don't know, a little extra pizzazz, a little color. Now, one application, again, on 5-in-1, my friends out there, I know you're already on, that are on my 5-in-1 plan, follow the recipe to the T, always measure all of those things. You know who you are. But if you are watching this and you're like, hey, this sounds like a great recipe to try, but I'm not necessarily on a weight loss plan, you know what? Trick it up. Half this ricotta with maybe a low-fat Italian turkey sausage. That would be a great Italian mix to add to this ravioli. But we're going to add just a little bit of parm. I think it's 2 tablespoons. Again, all of these recipes are available to you either through me. If you're a client, then you know you can reach out to me for recipes, or find them on our community support page. But if you're not and you're watching from wherever, beneaththesurfacenews.com is an amazing website. It's like a blog, and she has The Crumb. The Crumb is actually like a food blog, and it has reviews and recipes, not just for me, but that's where all of these will be placed. Also, if you haven't watched us before, then you can always go back to the archive videos here on this Facebook page and see all the recipes that I've made, okay? So let's see, we've got the part skim. Oh, big important thing, a fresh egg. We're gonna put an egg in this mixture. Again, that also for you 5-in-1 people, that calculates in for part of your protein. And we know that that is a lean protein, not leanest, so it has some healthy fat in there. Again, this is going to be the inside of our ravioli, and I'm going to set it to the side. Now, going back to a strategy I know you guys have seen me do before. My things over here. This is, again, using my favorite tool of the kitchen and on my healthy plan, this little peeler. It has to be, I think they call it a Y-shaped peeler. If you have a mandolin and you're not worried about cutting your finger off, that's a great way to do it too. My mandolin doesn't allow me to do long. The ones that allow you to do a long vegetable, I'm not brave enough because like I'm gonna nick something. So if you have one, then definitely you can use that as well. I'm gonna give you just a quick little suggestion on this, because if you haven't watched before when I've used it, I've done this several different times. We do the enchiladas, the zucchini enchiladas are great too. I always start it by cutting off just a little portion to give me a flat edge of the zucchini. It doesn't move as much that way. And then also I need to note, you know, you can get the zucchini in the stores that this one's a little wider, okay? Kind of, you don't have to measure your peeler, but we're gonna struggle getting that all the way through. So sometimes I like getting the ones in the store that are kind of small. It makes it perfect slicing, okay? Also for 5-in-1, I will tell you, I want to say the portion size on this recipe is 2 servings, okay? So for my family, I'm going to be doubling this up, okay? We're not going to do it for today. I'm going to be doing it just the same way. But after I'm off the air with you guys, I'm going to be making up some more ravioli because this is what I'm feeding my family. Again, going back to that criteria, I love my recipes to be family friendly, because how successful can you be taking on a new way of life if you have to cook twice for your family? And why would I keep my family away from healthy recipes? And I have a 13-year-old and I have a college-age daughter that's back at home. So I am super passionate about exposing them to healthy choices so that their adulthood is healthy and they have a long, healthy life. So I'm gonna show you just real quick on this. Now, when I cut it, of course, I'm gonna take the first couple swipes, probably 3 there, okay? Because I don't want these. This is basically just skin. I'm gonna throw those in the chicken coop, so it'll be just fine. But then you're just gonna try to take your time. I try to take my time and make sure that peeler gets the full thickness. Now, if you are really good with a knife, you can definitely make your own slices, okay? I just really like the peeler because I don't have to be so perfect. But I'm gonna take that and with quite a bit of firm pressure. If you notice, I put my thumb behind the zucchini and then pulled down this way just to make sure, because even this little guy can be kind of dangerous. So you're gonna get zucchini slices like this. This would be kind of the thinnest, and it will go up to the thickest portion. But I'll tell you, here's my other trick. Don't be alarmed, but you might have to swipe off a little bit of the side like that in order to make sure your zucchini will fit through your peeler, okay? So I went ahead and cut enough of this to get us started. And on the ravioli, I think you can see, it's hard for me sometimes on the screen to see, but I'm pretty sure you can see this. This is gonna be a great little technique. Again, not so hard. Think about it. When we were making cheesy sour cream filled enchiladas, no one complained about the time it took to roll up those flour tortillas. So think of this kind of the same way. Yes, you've got to put a little bit of time into prepping it, but it's going to be so worth it. And I'm going to actually stick this straight into the oven so that you guys can see a finished picture. But this would be a great thing to prep ahead of time early in the day. If you have a little bit of time at lunch or something, stick it in the fridge, pop it in as soon as you get home from work, and you've got this amazing, delicious meal. I'm gonna use my little scooper today. I think the recipe actually says you should put a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of the filling. Of course, you're gonna do this over your amount of zucchini. For plan, it's 6 ounces, and I measured ahead of time, guys. That's about 1 zucchini, and this is only going to be for 2 servings if you follow this recipe. So plan accordingly. If you need it to serve more people, then you're going to want to expand that number a little bit. So you see, I put just 1 little dollop with this scooper. This is close. This is probably really close to a tablespoon. And then we're going to take, if you notice, I just crossed over the zucchini. I want to take the bottom zucchini and wrap it over, and then wrap this one over as well. And look at this little beautiful ravioli, okay? So you're gonna love the flavor of this, but let me get my pan started so we'll be able to place these in. And I'll get a few started, and then we'll move on to the other recipes. 3/4 of a cup of a good marinara. Now here's the deal. On plan, I will tell you, and it's no surprise to you, you guys know that tomato sauce sometimes can be loaded with sugar. Even if it's a no sugar added tomato sauce, it is a sugar. Tomatoes are sugary. So on plan, we have a little rule of thumb that we look for. I'm just making sure this one is, I really should wear my glasses on here so I don't look so old. We have some numbers that we try to fit. I believe this one fits in our category, but I will have to double check that now that I glance at that. Anyway, you want to be sure and do that. On plan, you guys know that Rao's has sometimes been a good plan. Our nutritional support has looked at that, and it doesn't necessarily fit the plan. For you not on plan and you're like, I don't care what kind of tomato sauce, here's my advice. Make sure that you're looking for one that says no sugar added. So when you go down to the ingredients, there shouldn't be sugar, okay? That does not mean that there won't be sugars up in, like this one still has 4 sugars. So I'm beginning to think this brand tricked me, because I thought this was the one that that was good. But, there it is. Okay, no sugar added. You at least want to check for that, okay? And so I put 3/4 of a cup of tomato sauce on the bottom of a pan, super simple. I just use my round, like a little Pampered Chef stone. And we're gonna put that in here. I'm gonna do just a few more, but let me see if hey Dana, oh, he just stepped out. I do want you to meet someone. I often talk about my boyfriend, but we've been married for almost 29 years. So, got to keep it real. But I want to do a quick brag on him. He has actually been on plan for, I think we're going on 3 weeks. And I got to show you how good he's doing. But it's really fun for me to get to see someone who, he actually benefits from my cooking quite often. And so you think, gosh, this should have been easy for him. Why did he need to lose weight? Well, the thing is, it's not all about just eating one meal a day that's healthy. It really is a lifestyle choice, and putting all the pieces together is kind of what my plan offers. We talk about plan often. I was just on a Zoom call this morning with a client that I love, and it really is so much more than weight loss. If you're going at this for just weight loss, man, it may last for a little bit. But if you are on this journey for your health, that is so much greater, and the journey is so much more meaningful. Hey, Dane. You gotta go outside. It's right there. Okay, I'm gonna keep working on this, but I do want you to meet my husband today, Dana Brinkley. And I have to say, guys, here's the big reason why I wanted him to come on. This is Dana. You can't tell this, but this is huge.
That's an insight.
Yeah. My family and my kiddos out there, they're going to get a chuckle on that. But I don't know the numbers, but maybe I'll try to post it in the comments here in a minute. But Dane, tell them a little bit. How long have you been on plan?
Be 3 weeks Friday, 3 weeks today. Almost 3 weeks.
And have you died?
I have not died. I've actually improved. My running's improved quite a bit. I dropped 15 pounds, 7 or 8 inches. Midline, my neck size has gone down a half. My work shirts are a whole lot easier to button now.
Isn't that amazing?
And,
it's amazing what neck and belly fat, how often we see that change so quickly. Now, one thing really amazing about Dana, and for you guys that think, oh my gosh, well, that sounds good and all, but I am way too busy. I'm way too busy to do a plan like what she's talking about. Now, yes, he does have a really great cook at home. However, he travels quite a lot. And he also, I'll go ahead and say it. Most of you know, or lots of friends know him. He is, yes, Joy Duke, I have to say, doesn't he look amazing? But he is an airline pilot, and so it's not just the travel, because travel, I tell my clients all the time, pack your fuelings, you'll be fine. We can help you look for great alternatives when you're out and about eating out. But what's really been hard for him is, airline food. Whew, it's not so good. There's 0 options, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's been kind of a benefit for him to have plan to kind of stay on track, but yet a challenge. So, so good. Thanks, guys, for shouting out to him. So thank you.
Okay. Bye.
You can stay, or you can wait and come back for just the goods.
Okay, I'll come back.
He loves Wednesdays, because Wednesdays mean we have a really great lunch or dinner for sure. So anyway, I'm going to get the rest of these put away. And again, then I'm going to stick in the oven, and I will show you a picture later, because again, this is really dinner for us. But guys, this is kind of what it's going to be. See, I'm just placing those right on there. I will have to get those a little bit closer. We're going to top that off with some low-fat mozzarella. Again, I didn't bring it out. Mozzarella is super easy to find, reduced fat or part skim mozzarella. In the sliced cheese that we're about to use, a part skim is fine. And so that's going to be a really indulgent. Throw a side salad with this ravioli. Your family, trust me, when I show you the picture later, this is going to be so, so, so amazing. Again, coming to you with this recipe is good too, because before I started cooking on Beneath the Surface, I cooked for my little community page of just my clients. And the ones I'm bringing to you today are a couple of the old ones that I've already done. So I know these are delicious. So next up, and like I say in the description, I wanted to bring you a couple lunch ideas. Lean and green meals, that's awesome, right? Dinner around the table with your family, kind of put more thought into it, more planning around it. But I have clients every day that are on the verge of transitioning off of my 501 plan. And what does that look like? Well, guess what? It looks a whole lot like the 501 plan. The eating looks the same, okay? And so we have to learn how can it look lean and green during the day and make that convenient and easy for me and my family. So one of the very first things that I cooked as a demo for my clients learning to eat lean and green, and I was always amazed because when I would find a recipe that had like awesome cheese and some avocado and it was delicious, I was like, I can't believe I can eat this. Like, this is gonna be so great. So those are always the ones I navigated to. So today I wanted to bring you, and plus it's summer, and so lunchtime shouldn't have to have the oven on, although mine is on waiting for this delicious ravioli. We're gonna use cucumber again today. So if you're not a cucumber fan, I apologize in advance. However, I've just, again, used my peeler and I like to use an English cucumber, okay? Less seed, narrow, so it's really gonna fit through my peeler. Again, I won't cut extra of this because I think you know it's the same as the zucchini, okay? But here's the difference. We're gonna take this, and I just have it on a cutting board. I think you can see it. And I've actually laid this cucumber out on some paper towels before. We've talked about that before, like how much water zucchini and cucumbers and things like that really have. And so in this application, we really want some of that water to wick out ahead of time. And so I did that. I actually gave it a little sprinkling of some sea salt. That also kind of helps that water. If you could see my paper towel, you can't really tell, but this is pretty damp with the water that just came out of the cucumber. And this is a great, I'm taking my time and I'm talking you through it and all, but you could really whip this up pretty quickly. We are actually gonna have this for lunch today. Well, Dana and I will split this. My daughter doesn't care for cucumber. I don't know about that. I try to talk to her about it, but she's just not a fan. Okay, so we've got that there. We're gonna get to, again, our healthy fat today because we are using a lean protein or a leaner protein, is we're gonna use avocado. Now, I've weighed lots of avocados. Approximately half an avocado is what we need today. Let me grab another spoon. Again, not a professional kitchen and not a professional chef, so gotta go to the silverware drawer. But we're gonna use half of an avocado. I can actually stick it here on the scale just to show you. If you guys are on plan, you gotta have one of these, okay? I don't want you to get overwhelmed with it thinking, oh my gosh, I have to weigh everything. But you gotta weigh. Again, this is 3.2, but that's in the skin, so I was right. It's about 3 ounces, so that's what we need. So usually when I'm doing a full avocado, I know it's about 6 ounces. So, but that's one of those tricky things. I mean, avocados are all different, right? So we are gonna go ahead and take half of an avocado, and I'm gonna take a little squeeze of lime. I think, if you don't have this gadget, you need it. It's the best. Let me flip my recipe over. Yep, 3 ounces of ripe avocado. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of lime juice. Notice how I didn't measure, but I love citrusy, so the lime of half of that was probably a little more than 2 teaspoons, but still. 1 clove of garlic. Again, today you can mince your own clove. That one, it happens to be straight out of the pre-minced jar. I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper and take my fork and just kind of
mash this around. And really, I have a technique where I really mash it right out of the skin and it works great. But this is also one of those times, and I know I've told you about it before, avocados are tricky. You know, sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I show up at the Walmart and the whole entire bin of avocados are so hard. They're rock solid. And I'm like, I so bad wanted avocado today. So I'm not as good about planning ahead. In fact, you would have seen me every Wednesday morning. You'll probably see me at HEB getting things ready for the cooking. But these were great today. But I have a little hack. There is a little tubs of avocado. They have some of this guacamole. Be careful with that one if you're on 5-in-1. But there is avocado in the little tubs, which is great because they're 2-ounce portions. If you saw my Facebook last night, we had a little taco dish, still unnamed. So if you haven't given your idea for that name, go to my Facebook and look at that. But we're gonna mash this 3 ounces of avocado up, just roughly there. And then we're gonna take it and we've laid out, and I guess this is gonna bring back some memories of sushi, okay? It's gonna kind of take on this same kind of concept of sushi. So we're gonna smear this avocado across. So it's gonna be thin. We don't want it all oozy. We just want it to, it kind of acts like glue a little bit. So you want it all the way to the edges because we're gonna need it to stick down. Well, only because it's so quiet while I'm trying to, I would say y'all talk to me. Tell me where you're watching from. Also, guys, some of you, your names I recognize as familiar, but if you've made my recipes, I love it when you let me know what you've made. It is like the best thing ever for me to hear that. So we're gonna next go to this. For our lunch is not a meatless dish. It is using lean turkey. And I just buy the deli lean turkey. Just be careful. Do not, just be careful with anything that's like honey or injected with flavorings and that sort of thing. You want just a pure turkey. Again, if you can, check the ingredients because you don't want sugar added. Turkey's one of those ones that's tricky, or like, you know, honey ham. Obviously, let's don't get our extra sugars in the form of just an injected flavoring, okay? So if you'll notice here, I've just layered that lean turkey right on top. Now for you guys on plan, I did not take the time to weigh this, but I think I'm super close to the amount. I think for the portion for 2 servings, we are looking for 6 ounces, okay? 6 ounces to go onto there because, why are we missing a little bit of protein? Because we've got this mozzarella. So again, we're taking lean mozzarella, lean, low-fat mozzarella, and putting it here. Now, I did measure the cheese, and it's gonna come out, I think, just perfect. I'm gonna have to overlap just a smidge, but you could cut it and make it perfect. I think I'll just do that right there. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Could you use grated mozzarella? Maybe, but I kind of think the slices do better with this application. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and say hashtag be nice because this is tricky doing this on live for you guys because I could totally mess it up and it could be ugly, but I'm gonna try really hard. I've done it a few times, so been around the block a couple times. I'm gonna use my sharp knife and I'm gonna take it from one side. Again, those cucumbers have sat there for a minute. And remember, the cucumber is layered on top of each other all the same way. Don't like get all wonky and do some under and then some over. You wanna layer over, over, over the same way so that you get a good flip over. I'm gonna take this. Did you see what I did there? Okay. And my key is always like push under all of that goodness. Don't let that cheese like slip out. And some of it will. I should have told you, you can always leave a little bit of room here at the end and pull it back some because that's where you're gonna push and have a little bit of extra. And again, I'm kind of pushing it under as I roll it over. If you guys have ever been to a sushi class, it's very similar, okay? So, and I'm kind of squeezing as I go too, because I want to get out like any air pockets. Guys, this, oh, and I forgot. So we're going to have to do it on top. Some fresh parsley. I'm going to chop this real quick. I would have put this parsley right on top of the avocado if I would have remembered, but we're going to do it right here instead. And now I'll just tell you, really sharp knife. I don't think with the cucumber really need it serrated, but guys, this is going to be a super tasty lunch. This portion right here would be your portion. This is 2 portions. This would be your portion on Lean and Green for 5 in 1. And so beautiful, great for dinner. Even you guys that flip sometimes and do your Lean and Green during the day, no oven, quick and easy. Take it out by the pool, sit and eat. Now what we're gonna do, we are gonna slice these into little rolls, just like you would sushi. I'm gonna get probably, I could get 5 slices. Now I'm okay to actually serve it just like this, but you could skewer it with a small toothpick if you were worried about it coming apart, or if you wanted to do a larger amount for some friends coming over or something and you felt like you needed to have it secured, you could do that. But this, guys, you just can't go wrong with this kind of lunch. It's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna plate this up in just a few minutes. I have one more really important but super quick hack for you. Again, going back to that Meatless Monday. I had a party recently. Again, if you follow me on Facebook or you've seen my Facebook post, I was so determined because every week I come to you guys and I say, oh my gosh, this is a dish you would have and cook for all your friends. And then reality hit, and I was gonna host a little gathering for my husband's birthday. You know what? I still have to battle what's in me and what's convenient, and I'm thinking, okay, so do we do like hamburgers and hot dogs out on the Blackstone, and do I just like drive through and pick up some potato salad? Those are just our routines, right? That's how we grew up, and that's sometimes how we see gatherings and barbecues look like. I decided I'm gonna do it. So guys, I hosted an event with several different couples. Maybe a couple were on plan, but not all of them. And I believe they were impressed with some of the food. Things like chicken crust pizza, these little stuffed peppers, and what were some of the other things? I've all of a sudden forgot. Little mini hamburger skewers. Anyway, it was an amazing evening. I felt like the greatest hostess because I was offering them really yummy food, and they weren't even thinking, ugh, we gotta go to Julie's house. I hope it's like not boring food. I think they were impressed. So I just challenge you, bring these foods into your everyday life and use them. So you know these guys, we've used these quite often. These little sweet peppers, snacking peppers, I think is what they're called. We've used them in little Fiesta nachos. We've used them to top salads. And today, guys, I'm gonna show you the best quick and easy Lean and Green lunch, okay? Even you guys that are 5 in 1, this can be half your protein, okay? Half your protein, which means you can still have dinner, okay? You just cut your protein back just a little bit. And so I'm gonna take, I think there's 4 of these, 4 peppers, which is gonna be a completely adequate, may only actually need 3, but I'm taking 2 ounces of goat cheese. I'm gonna show you the package just so you know. Be careful, there is one that's honey. Don't get the honey goat cheese, okay? Also, the other trick is leave it out for a little bit before you get ready to do this so the goat cheese softens. But 2 ounces of goat cheese will serve as your half protein for the day. So you guys that are wanting to split your protein or have a little something during the day, this is a great solution. Or put this with your dinner and then have another choice of a half of a protein. But we're gonna take this and just fill these little peppers. I think these actually stole the show for my little gathering this weekend. They sure did for me. I had some left over, and I ate them yesterday, guys. So these keep well in the fridge for at least a couple days. But this little treat would be amazing for a lunch. I'm going to fill one more. Again, I'm not sad about this because these are going to stay in the Brinkley refrigerator, and I'm going to have these. What a great snack, too. If you are not on 5-in-1 plan, but you would like to have better options throughout the day that are healthy, that fuel your body with adequate protein and nutrients, then here you go. Make these up and grab them out of the Rubbermaid. I did yesterday, and it was delicious. As runners, we kind of have to be careful with our nutrition and make sure we eat enough to stay at a really safe place of maintenance. And so, yeah. Here's my last one I'll do for you today. Again, guys, let me set those aside. This is I still have probably one more, enough to fill in for the 2 ounces. This could be your meal. This is amazing. This is a great source of protein, balanced. Again, it's a great way to add to that list of Meatless Monday things or proteins that are different. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, Julie, I just cannot get down 7 ounces of protein. Depending on what the protein is, some of them are harder to get down. So these are options for you to think about. Again, I love coming to you every week. It's been an incredible habit to add to my list of habits, but when I bring that up, I have to tell you, just another shout out to my good friend, Jody Wires, that recommended this book for me because she was like, I read this book and it just speaks you, because I am so determined that it doesn't matter what your age is, where you've been, how much weight you needed to lose, or that fat girl that's always going to be in my head. I don't listen to her anymore because I have strategies of living this healthy life and moving forward every single day in my health journey, okay? So micro habits, building up small little habits, drinking 100 ounces of water a day. Guys, also, here's another habit for you. Surround yourself with sources that are supportive, that help you, okay? In my group, we have a community that supports my 5-in-1 plan, which feels so good because you are not alone. And, you know, even like today, being able to reach out to a client through Zoom, it just feels good to connect with other people. So I recommend you do that. If it's not about weight loss, I have another idea for you. We're runners. We love health. We love looking at our community here in Stephenville in the Erath County area. And we have a running group. It's Stephenville Area Running Club on Facebook. Guys, find people who want to be passionate about their health and jump in. Jump in. I today was blessed to get to run with a brand new friend that just reached out to me because we share the same passion. We just want to share health. We want to encourage not just women and men to be active and grow our families and change our community. So there's your 2 invites, okay? If you haven't checked me out on Facebook, be sure to do so. Lots more recipes and ideas and tips and tricks and motivation coming your way. If you are looking for a plan, I would love to help you with that. You saw the results. He's gone now, but you saw the results. My husband has done amazing on plan, and it feels so good to see people benefit from just learning what health can look like for you. Such a joy to come to you every week. These recipes will be posted as soon as I get them out of the oven and plated up for you. And if you ever have any questions about those recipes, be sure to drop them here in the thread. There he is, the superstar. Guys, you got to check out my Facebook because I got a before and after of this guy that will blow you away. So see you back here next week. Next week, we're going to talk about beach vacations. Yes, the Brinkley family is about to haul theirself all the way to Florida. And yeah, we're ready. But guess what? We don't want to give up our health goals. So we're going to bring to you next week some of the
recipes that we will be using on our trip away. We'll be packing our coolers for the beach and how we're going to enjoy healthy lifestyle even on vacation. So until I see you next time, be nice.